Hello, Lisa here, Interdimensional 5D. If you go to sleep at night and you think you've done something, more than likely you have. We call this you're working with the army of the Lord or you're working for the army of the bad guys. Either way, I'm speaking to you. These theorems are based on Dolores Cannon's work, reading the Bible, my own personal experiences, and my studies into ancient alien theory. Now, it was an interesting night last night. My hair comes out at the back. Um, uh, Dream time's getting pretty real. I'm ready for certain things to end. Um, I keep saying I'm going to move along, and I will. They think they're going to keep me here. They won't. Because when I decide to do something, I do it, and nothing will get in the way. Nothing. And I just want to say to anybody out there who has met Lisa Piscini in real life, and you think somehow you're going to change my life, make me stop talking as the blue wig, or change my perspective of things, well, everybody should be able to be open minded to change perspective. But if you're going to do it in a harassing, humiliating way, you'll never change my perspective. Matter of fact, God might actually step in and change yours. And I think a few people have had that experience or are starting to have that experience. Okay? But let's go on. Uh, I had, this is Dreamtime stuff. Um, the conglomerate known as the kingdom is done. That coven has gone too far, taking the life of divine masculine's mother just so he won't go to his divine feminine. Dark angels came and gave her life back. That's what I saw. Because I see the angels. They walk with me. Your darkness was used to bring her back. And here I want to just step in and let everybody remember, when you walk with God, you walk with God. And He's in control of the dark. So these people who call on Satan and all bunch of other effed up names, if it's not in your soul contract that they can harm you, they can't. And God's the one who actually controls the demons. So after the mother's life came back, Divine Masculine went and spoke to, and why he speaks to these people, I'm just confused. Because I've asked him, do they pay your paycheck? The answer is no. Are you married to them? No. Are you in business with them? No, but I think there is a business of some sort. Do you have children with them? No. I mean, I asked, why would you even talk to these people who ended your mother's life? But the first woman, I heard the conversation. She says, I will be in despair if you go to her. How will it look for me? I can give a retort on that, but I won't. Woman number two, he starts talking to her, why, what, because a whole bunch of people were involved in this. And she starts to take her pants off, and I hear him say, put your pants back on. And taking her pants off was the answer. What does it say about that person? That happened to be the baseballer, by the way. Man number three, a man, the one who made the decision that we should attack Divine Masculine's mother, needed to be reminded by the angels, you have no real power. Money is not power. Power is power. Do you know the difference, people? That some of you will take money to harass people you don't know. Do you think that person, even if they're white and they have money, you really think that's powerful? Do you think following people around in stores makes you powerful? Do you think stealing and fingering their objects and leaving bizarre things in their home makes you powerful? The fact that you can pay somebody to sneak into somebody's home, does that give you power? Do you think you're powerful that you do that? If you're given responsibility at a workplace and you can bully and push people out of a job, do you think you're powerful? I personally think that makes you pathetic. Trust me, I've lived a pretty full life, and I know pathetic when I see it. That means you're begging. You're on the lowest rung, and you'll do anything to keep your ego floating. That's really sad. Woman number 3. She needed to be reminded physically she has no real power. So a judgment has been made. They decided he can't meet the divine feminine because the coven wants him to marry her, to steal the pentacles for the coven, and leave the divine feminine bereft. And this particular divine masculine is, hey man, I've gotten to know her and I'm in love. After all that's occurred in your lives, all that's occurred in this coven's people lives. Now, we're talking on 177 is down to 99, and it might even be lower as of today, but I didn't ask the number. Why would you continue on? Unless you all have a wish to be extinguished by God. I'm just amazed that, stuff happens, you see it on the news, people dropping dead out of mysterious things, and you're going to keep doing it. Do you really think you're going to obtain your objective? Ending me and keeping the Whigs silent about 5D stuff. To a particular person, knowing me in 5D is not the end all. I am not oblivious, but it seems perhaps you are. To get me or you to solidify and continue on the 5D platform is not the objective. Objective and reasons for every exchange is for you to come out of 5D. I can't come to you. They've made me bereft, and you know it. You said, and I have to cut this person off, okay? This has been a very difficult thing because I am bereft. You said I'm still your man. Well, you're not that. On many levels, you're not that. You're not that because you're not here on the real physical plane. So you're not anything to me or to that person. The person you're effing with is in real physical despair and needs assistance. So you're essentially a nobody to that person, and their power will no longer shield you. Since you are beholden to a coven who only needs you for government and monetary support, they use you smile on your face, then try to end your mom. As this would have kept you from meeting your true objective. That objective is about to turn and walk completely away, and when it does, it will be a complete end and a completely different outcome for you. And that's the end of what I saw in 5D today. Now, this is so weird. So, the angels, they go on and on and on about Justin Bieber. Now, I'm told there were heinous things done to my physical person when I lived back in Kansas. And I was just told about something with a horse that just stunned me. So I asked the angels, why did they laugh when Justin Bieber comes up? Well, evidently, he lied about Diddy. I don't know if Diddy's out of jail yet, but he's going to be. Justin Bieber was involved in this coven, and here's the interesting part. The angels laugh at him because in his soul contract, this was supposed to be his last lifetime, and he was supposed to be one of the angels. And they laugh at him because it's never going to happen now. He's totally blew that trajectory. So when you come down and do a soul contract, know that you can't F it up. And some people in this coven are having their names written out of the book of life. They will not reincarnate again. And some will go back and have to do thousands of years over again because they just got it so effing wrong. Now I don't know who's who and what's what in that thing, but here's why this is what they told me why they laugh at Mr. Bieber. He worked, Eight of Pentacles is work. He worked hard, foolishly, to begin. He wanted to be part of a death ritual and bring an end with sticks, passionately, creatively, maybe even beating, along with the King of Swords. Him and the King of Swords, Big Mouth, were confident. They were confident in the illusion time that they were under an illusion, would never get caught, never be seen, nothing would ever come out to the bereft. Which, long story short, they were involved in doing heinous things to a specific individual who was already pretty much down because she had a husband who was keeping her in squalor and selling her, like human trafficking her, whilst on drugs, because Justin Bieber came. I gave the sleeping pills, remember? And I didn't know why the angels were laughing. That was a pretty nervy thing to come and say to me. Page of Wands, along with the Nine of Pentacles, was involved. The baseballer. This was a big, loving exchange for all of them to do this heinous thing. This was a big moment of merriness for those people to do something heinous to another person they wanted to silence. But God's with this person. This person, shines because there's a Ten of Pentacles for that person. The wounded warrior who will share, who shares their earthly experience with the world, and they hate that. They loathe that person. Because in a way, that person calls judgment on everything they do. And towers. There will be a tower for the coven. Because a new beginning is coming. Somebody way different. The Nine of Cups. Come, Queen of Wands, have a cup with me. Let us be vague and aristocratic together. Let us share cups. Let's make cups. Cups of creativity. And that, in and of itself, will cut those who want to win at all cost. And they will have regret. And that is why the angels laugh at Justin Bieber. I can't believe I'm out here telling you people this stuff, because it just amazes me, to be real honest with you. Anyway, I got 2 messages from the Boom Boom cards today. So I ask, I've been asking, because this whole thing with the divine masculine, is everything we pull as a diviner, because when you do cards and stuff, it's divination. Is everything we pull in cards just spirit-laced? And is it only stuff that happens in the dream time, in the etheric? And a lot of times, yes, when you go and speak to a tarot reader who's an actual tarot reader. Now, to some of you novices out there, please be advised, people who go into police work or FBI work, CIA stuff, and they can't hack it, or they get in trouble because they go, their egos get inflated and they start doing illegal things themselves. A lot of those people, when they leave those services, there's a program or app they can buy for $60,000 plus a year, in which they put on their computer and they can get in to anybody's personal information. Now, those people will pretend to be psychics or, tarot readers. And you can tell the difference because they'll look you up. They'll look up histories, your family histories. And when they speak to you, instead of saying like Aunt Kiki or something like that, they're going to say the actual, they're going to regurgitate what the obituary says, or what's stated on a crime report, let's say. They're gonna use words and it'll be really obvious. They're not gonna speak as spirit speaks, okay? And there's a real difference in that. You should be able to tell the difference. Anyway, I found out sometimes spirit's talking about what's going on in only the etheric and spirit world. And it's hard to know sometimes, so you have to ask, okay? And then for those of you out there, there's a lot of people out there who shouldn't do or be involved in any way, shape, or form divination, because it does open you up to stuff that maybe you're not ready to handle, okay? In some ways, I wished I wasn't here doing this. However, I am an honorary spirit. God uses me to shake things up. No matter where I go, some kind of crap is always shown. Like I have the spotlight on, oh man, here they are. They're stealing again. I don't want to have anything to do with it, but somehow my presence always opens up a can of worms. And I've kind of asked God, can we not do that anymore? I'm really tired of it. Now, there are people down here who think they're going to keep me down here. That's not going to happen, people. Please know that to be true. And I just want to say, if you've met me, Lisa Pacini, in real life, and then somehow you decided you hate my guts for whatever reason, I try to be nice to everybody. Do not come and attack me. I'm just telling you, you're going to have dreams. I have these Italian ancestors. I'm sorry, but they will haunt you if you do anything to try and hurt my life. And I've seen it happen over and over again. You know, I'm just giving the warning out there. It's your call. You see me and you've only seen me on the TV, but you decided you hate me. Just walk away, man. It means it's not meant for you. And I don't wish anybody any harm. I really don't. But if you attack me, especially in the dream time, be prepared. This girl's like Jessica Jones, if not worse. Just saying. Anyway, so I pulled some boom boom cards today. One is a spiritual message, and one is a real life physical message. Because I started to ask. Because some of these things don't make sense to me. But they say, do it. So, up in Wyoming, this is the spiritual message. There's somebody up in Wyoming. I'm going to say they're a super soldier. On the 6th of November, they're going to cream somebody about the power muses. Don't mess with the power muses. And the power muses are being told to indulge in self-care right now. But the attack is going to be in bear energy. And the defenders will be in bear energy. So if you see a bunch of bears fighting in the dream time, please know it's about the power muses. Doesn't have anything with you. I would run away. If you see that attack, run away. Now this one, they say, is in real life. Am I reading this message correctly, Spirit? So the last quarter moon and 7. Does 7 mean 7 phone calls? Or 7 attempts? Okay, sometime before the last quarter moon, seven messages or 7 attempts went to Montana about lies, lying about lying. A lying tongue spoke to somebody 7 times up in Montana. And somehow, I don't know, but people from North Dakota and or South Dakota either intercepted or somehow maybe they're from the people who are like, what is this about? Okay, Southern Chickie. You're Southern. You're barking up a wrong tree when you talk to people from these states. And I grew up in New York. I lived in Missouri for over 20 years. I lived in Kansas for another 10 or 15. I lived in Montana. You Southern people have no idea what the rest of the world is like. Okay? It's not like here. That's all I gotta say to you. And when I finally do leave here, I will give a nice little diatribe exclamation point about my experience here, because I have some things to say. You could take down your statues, you could change your flag, but the Old South still works. I'm going to recommend to people of color in particular, there's a movie with Bette Davis, and it's up on either Prime or Netflix. I think it's Prime, called Little Foxes. You should watch the movie all the way through. It's about how they gaslight one of their family members. And at the very end, Betty Davis says a very, very significant statement in that movie, which applies to our political scene today. And you should know those people are very much in power. And they pay you to harm you, to harm people that they're afraid of. And really, if you believe in God, everybody has a right. And you shouldn't be a part of harassing other people of color. Doesn't make any sense. It's hypocritical. You took your statue down, but you haven't changed the paradigm. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, to the divine masculine, I get it. And I complain to my spirit team. I'm 30 years in arrears on my soul contract. And they did this to me. It's not pretty. It's not pretty anymore. We don't like what it says. We don't like how it looks. It's too old for you. Can't be 68 and do anything. And unfortunately, in America today, where I worked with my spirit team calls with the pastry witches, there were a lot of women younger than me who had been pushed out by men because they just weren't pretty enough, too old. Let's go to the younger version. And that's the trajectory for America today. And that's what this Kingdom television show, the reason why God wants it to end, because the Kingdom television show was going to televise literal deaths, snuff films on regular TV. And they would hopefully think that you would think that it's theatrical deaths. But yet they would be doing actual deaths. And who knows what that would do to a mass populace. Even if you don't know that that's what you're seeing, it would still spiritually and psychically affect. And God's saying, that's not going to happen. And people, if you don't believe God's here watching everything, then what do you believe in? Anyway, that's all I got to say today. Peace out, everybody. Remember, I think you're amazing. Oh, and to my little boys, I think there's 4 of you. If you have parents and then money is a constraint, you want to do art. I was a photo retoucher for very many years, and we only used 3 colors to make all the colors in the world. So you only need 3 tubes of paint: blue, yellow, and red. These are your primary colors. And truly, you need no other colors other than white. And black is nice to have, but you can make a black with these colors. You can't make white. And that's where you get the, like if you're painting, it's interesting. Now, when you do watercolor, you use the water like a white. You can lighten the colors with it. Anyway, these are the 3 colors you need to make any color in the universe. Okay? Trust me on that. Know that to be true. Anyway, peace out. I think some of you are amazing. And I absolutely love you. Have a good day now.